You'll never have it. You'll never make $1 million. You'll never get off this job. You'll never leave this country. You'll never leave this town. Come on, the nevers are constantly speaking to us and telling us what we will never take possession of. Tap, 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 tap. Come on, you've got to get in your belly. You've got to get a new strength, a new vitality, a new vibrancy. You've got to get out of your head and you got to put some things in your mouth. You got to get those things that in your heart to come up out of your heart and speak out of your mouth gate. It has to be in the oral gate. Now listen, the Bible says that whatsoever a man speaketh, so is he. Whatever a man says, so is his defined existence. So is his designed existence. So we have to know that the power to change and to be is in our mouth because of what's in our heart. Whatever is in the fullness of the heart, the Bible tells us that the mouth will speak. So now we've got to renew our mind and we've got to really be familiar with our heart so that we can now work the system of our mouth to speak properly. When we speak, that is our shattering instrument. What is your shattering instrument? It is your words. It is your voice. It is your volume. It is the value that you hold for your own self based on what you can say, based on what you can see, based on what you want that God says is yours, right? And so today in this coaching scope, what I want us to do is look at Midian again as an oppressor, and I want you to look at Gideon as a victor. And I want you to see yourself like you would if you were looking at a big old movie. I want you to see yourself as the protagonist. I want you to see yourself as Gideon. The protagonist means the hero. You are the hero in the story. You are the one, and the Midianites are the antagonists. They are the one that is anti your progression, anti your success, anti the blessing of your business, the moving of your products, the moving of your services, the moving of your ministry to go global, to go transcontinental, to go worldwide. So something is hindering you, got you cased in, trying to keep you from moving forward, but it's a glass. It means that you can see the other side. You can dream of the other side. You can almost touch it, but every time you touch it, you can't really feel it. That thing right there means that you've got to get some warrior status in your belly. It means you've got to stand up. You got to come out of where you've been because something has told you that you can't, that you won't, and that you'll never. Something have told you that you can't, that you won't, and that you'll never. And once you hear can't, won't, and never, you got to gird up. You got to gird up the arsenal. You got to get ready to move that mouth because you got to shatter the glass. You've got to shatter the glass and defeat the oppressor because oppression is just in the earth. It's just everywhere. It's on the streets of New York. It's in the town of in the towns in the South. It's in the States, it's in the UK, it's in South Africa, it's in Russia, it's in Holland, it's in every part of the landscape of earth is oppression. Why? Because man fell and gave an oppressor his power. So what we're learning when we shatter the glass, we're learning how to take our power back. We're learning how to garner some things that will cause us to stand up as giants, stand up as game changers, and begin to press through, push through, and then when we can't press and push no more, we shatter. Come on, when we done got tired of pressing and pushing, then we begin to speak, and we use artillery, and you use the blow and the power of what you speak and what you say out of your mouth. You lift your voice, you increase your volume, and you release your frequency. You lift your voice, you increase your volume, and you release your frequency. And when you begin to do that, I'm coaching. When you begin to do that, you will feel the power and the resistance. The glass will start to shatter. Shatter, shatter. So let me give you some coaching points on why we are often resistant to the element of glass. Why it is that it stops us so. First, because it's real. Glass is real. It's there. It's before us, and we know we're stopped. We know we're hindered. We know there's a ceiling. We know there's a door. We know there's hindrance. We know there are issues, but we don't know how. And we don't press because we've just been doing it so long. Oh my God, say too long. Press, tap, tap, tap. Say too long. Tap, hashtag too long. We have been in this state, in many of us in this condition, in this place where we've been hindered and stopped too long. And so now we've got to gird up the loins of our mind, and we've got to put in the artillery in our mouth that's in our heart, because God put it in our heart. If it's in your heart, let me coach you. If it's in your heart, that means God have given it to you. If it's a longing, if it's a desire, if it's something that keeps resonating, if it's something that keeps popping, is it something that you daydream about on your job? You think about as you drive in the car, as you're cooking your eggs in the morning, as you're making dinner, this thing just won't stop. I know I'm to have this business. I know I'm to write this book. I know I'm to release this program. I know I'm to help children who are hurting. I know I have answers for marriages. I know. But wait a minute. The glass keeps me bound. The glass keeps me quiet. The glass keeps me resisting the movement of progress. And so if it is, we've got to gird up. Now, here it is. There is a problem that we have, and I want to go over this problem with you as a kingdom coach. I want you to understand that there is a problem called hindrances to shattering. Hindrances to shattering. There are at least 3 of them that keeps coming at us. The first thing is generational identity and family oppression. If your family system, I don't care where you come from on the planet, if your family has a certain kind of modus operandi, a certain kind of thing that is always done, everybody do it. Everybody is at fault with it. Everybody is just under its sway. Then it's going to be hard and resistant to be a shatterer of glass, because you're going to feel like this is my defined spot. I've always been identified as this. That's what Gideon struggled with. Gideon said, but we haven't seen God move, but we've always been the one oppressed. We've always been slaves to the Midianite. I mean, it's never been nothing. And you're saying to me that I can change that? So Midian was in the mind of Gideon. Midian was the only thing that he thought about. Tap, tap, tap. When you have been oppressed, when oppression is in your business, when you see everybody else flourishing, your ministry, everybody else growing, everybody else getting thousands of likes on Facebook and you get 4, come on, that messed with your psyche. Your psyche be like, see, you ain't got it. You ain't got the goods. So we've got to get over what we see through the glass and we say it can never be. We've got to deal with that. So generational identity and family oppression sits on our head. It's part of the glass. It just sits there and it says you can't be any better than anybody else before you. You can't go any further than we say. And so that has to be dealt with. That's a hindrance. Hindrance number 2, historic evidence and past data has been our wrecking ball. We get wrecked in our mind because we always seen it that way. There's the statistics. There's the data. There's the history. There's the archive. Powell, come on, Yolanda Powell, you can't, it's always been that way. Why are you telling me it can change? Because it's just because it's been in the past don't mean it can be in the future. Just because it's always been don't mean it always will be, because you are the shatterer. You are the warrior. You are the one that is emerging. Tap, 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 emerge, tap, tap, tap. I am emerging. Come on. I am growing. I am gaining. I am standing. I am walking. I am talking. I am speaking. And when I put I am on anything, then you got some power. Say, I am. That's what God said. I am that I am. He had a double I am. So you just need one. You just need him. Come on. And so that becomes critical. We cannot let the historic evidence keep us from shattering the glass. Number 3, lack of spiritual, economic, or political power. When we see that we don't have the money, we ain't got the influence, we don't have the political strength, we don't have the connections, we don't know nobody knows us, we get into a bellyache, you'll never shatter glass like that. If you think it's always going to be, they always was the problem, my mom and them, everybody was like that, and then you just put your hand in it, that's over. You're not shattering. If you look at evidence, you look at history, not shattering. And particularly, if you say I ain't got no money and I ain't got no power, you are out the game. So you got to reconstruct your mind. I'm going quick. My time is flying. Here it is. If you are going to shift from hindrance to how, and shatter glass and do the thing that heaven is giving you an opportunity to do this week. I ain't talking about next week. I'm not talking about next month. I'm not talking about a 5-year plan. I'm talking about right now. You have in your hand, in your mouth, the ability to shatter glass. Now, number one, what is the glass? I'm being quiet. What is your glass? You've got to identify that. Number one, identify the glass. Is it a wine glass? Is it about your marriage, your romance, your relationship? If it's a wine glass and you've been just not getting what you need, your life is a wreck. The relationship is crazy thing. You need to shatter that thing and either start again or move it out the way. Sweep it into the pan and put it in the trash. Ooh, that's hard. But I'm saying you've got to evaluate what glass needs to be shattered. If it's hurting you, hindering you, if it's causing you pain and anguish, then it needs to be shattered. Maybe it's a beer glass. Maybe it's the issues of addiction. Maybe it's the issues of just subjugation. Maybe it's an issue that has kept you inebriated and you're not clear-minded. Shatter the glass. You got to identify what kind of glass it is. Maybe it's just a regular morning glass where you drink your coffee, drink your tea, drink your stuff, put your stuff in. And maybe it's just regular. Maybe it's just habitual. Maybe it's just routine. Maybe it's just a coffee glass, a glass coffee mug. And every day you do the same thing the same way. You do it the same time in the same moment in the same mood with the same mindset. Shatter that glass. Why am I saying that? Because habitually you're not moving out of your regularity. You're not moving out of your place. So whether it's a wine glass of relationships, whether it's a mug, a beer mug of addictions and all kinds of connections into craziness that's not moving you, or whether it's just a habitual regular glass that you just do routinely, but it's not letting you move forward, then you have to deal with that. I've got to close. Listen. You have the ability because God said, I am with you. That's what he told Gideon. He said, God is with you, O mighty warrior. That's what he said. So the number one thing when you begin to shatter, know that you're not the one that's really putting the punch in. God is punching through you. God is punching with you. God is speaking through you. God is speaking for you. And your mouth is what he's using. So that's why the shatter happens, because God is with you in the shattering. So come on, tell God, help me speak this up. Help me speak this out. Help me make this change. Number one. All right. Number two, God said, go in this strength that is yours. So he tells Gideon, you've got strength. You are not what they said. You are not what you think. You are not based on your history or your family. This is not about them. This is about you. I choose you, God said. I choose you to be the one to shatter the glass, to shatter the oppression, to change the life of people, to change your life. All right, tap, tap, tap. We're almost done. One more here. He says, first of all, not only are you mighty warrior, he says you have the strength of your God. And the last thing he says, this is God giving us how. He says, I'll be with you. Believe me, you'll defeat Midian as one man. Oh, Lord. He said, you'll defeat Midian as one man. Don't look for nobody else's help. Here's the key. Don't be looking around and hoping somebody's going to come and rescue you. God is in you. He's called you warrior. He said, I'm your strength. He says, I'm going to move through you. So you just stand. Don't look around. Don't ask for your BFF to come. Don't ask for your business partner. Don't ask for your assistant pastor on this one. He says, I'm going to do this through one man Gideon. And God is saying to you, you have it. You have the how. Get rid of the past. Get rid of the data. Get rid of the stuff. Get rid of the glasses. Define them first. Then smash them, define them, then shatter them, define them, then remove them and obliterate them, because they're keeping you from a great and a marvelous future. Your future is too great to be stopped by glass, stopped by something you can only see through the seeing of the eye, but never can touch with your phalanges, with your hands, your fingers, your life, your love, your money, your honey. Come on. So I'm encouraging today. Come on. You have the power and authority to shatter the glass and defeat Midian. How about that? Listen, I've got to go. I've got to run. But listen, I've got to tell you that on Friday and Saturday this week, I will be in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, USA, delivering leadership strategies, telling them about